I sat in my dusty pickup truck outside the Henderson Law Group in Tucson, Arizona, my hands gripping the steering wheel like it was the only thing keeping me grounded. The sun beat down on the arid landscape, casting long shadows from the saguaro cactuses that dotted the horizon like silent sentinels. On the passenger seat lay a manila envelope stuffed with divorce papers that would shatter my 3-year marriage to Jake, and a thumb drive loaded with evidence that could crumble his budding real estate empire. Just 3 days ago, I'd been fooling myself into thinking we had it all, a cozy ranch-style home on the outskirts of town, plans for a family, and a shared dream of building something big in this wild western frontier. Now, it felt like a bad dream straight out of a dusty old western flick, where the hero realizes the villain's been riding shotgun all along. It all unraveled with one careless slip-up, a voice memo that wasn't meant for my ears. I was in my home studio that Tuesday morning, sketching blueprints for the Sunset Valley Resort project, the kind of gig that could put my architectural design firm on the map. My phone pinged with a message from Jake on my messaging app. I grinned, expecting one of his flirty "miss you already" notes he sent when he headed out for showings. But when I hit play, his voice hit me like a sandstorm. "Mom, I can't keep up this charade much longer. Playing the doting husband is wearing me thin." My stomach dropped. This was for his mother, Evelyn, not me. He'd fat-fingered the contact. Emily's clueless about what's headed her way. In 2 weeks, I'll slap her with divorce papers right after I lock in that Sunset Valley deal under my name. She's been so naive, handing over all her client files like candy. I froze, the phone slipping from my grasp. This couldn't be Jake, the man who'd promised forever under the stars at our Sedona wedding. We were saving for a bigger spread, talking kids, the whole 9 yards. But his tone was ice-cold, scheming in a way I'd never heard. "Lisa's pushing me to bail now, but I told her to hold her horses. Once I swipe this resort project and pass it off as mine, I'll have the cash and clout to start over clean. Emily'll be high and dry, just like she deserves for roping me into this mess." "Lisa." My mind raced through his contacts, colleagues, clients. Then it clicked. Lisa Reynolds, the loaded investor bankrolling his latest flips. The one who dropped by our place for business dinners, always a tad too touchy. The memo droned on. "You nailed it, Mom. I should have never hitched my wagon to someone from the wrong side of the tracks. Emily's just a small-town gal with pie-in-the-sky ideas. She thinks her little design outfit's hot stuff. It's laughable how she laps up my fake encouragement while I copy her blueprints and shop them around." My chest tightened like a vice. 3 years of what I thought was real love, support, laughter, late nights brainstorming over coffee. All smoke and mirrors. The kicker is, she trusts me blind. Gave me passwords to her accounts, client lists, the works. Even slapped my name on the Sunset Valley contract as co-lead. When I dump her, I'll spin it like she was just my sidekick. Who's gonna buy her story over a Harlan boy like me? I heard Evelyn's sharp cackle in the background, the same one she'd unleash at family barbecues when she thought I wasn't listening, jabbing at my humble roots or my thrift store boots. "Don't fret, Jake. Once you're rid of that girl, you can tie the knot with Lisa proper-like. Someone who fits the family brand. And with the bucks from Emily's pilfered gigs, we can bail out my ranch from the red." The memo cut off with Jake vowing to hash out more later. I stared at my screen, the Sunset Valley sketches mocking me. Months of sweat, my breakout moment, all set to vanish into his pocket. Another buzz, a text from Jake. "Oops, babe. Wrong send. Ignore that memo. Love ya." Love. He wouldn't know it if it bit him like a rattler. I glanced around my studio, the drafting table he'd helped assemble, the framed license he'd hung with pride. All part of the con. But Jake had slipped up big time. He figured me for a pushover. I backed up that memo to every device I owned, then fired up my laptop, hunting for divorce attorneys, business lawyers, and private eyes. If he wanted to play dirty in this desert dust, I'd show him what a tough Western woman could do when she traded gratitude for grit. By the time he strolled in that night with takeout and his phony grin, I'd already mapped my counterattack. The showdown was on, and he was none the wiser. Flashback 6 months, and I was on cloud 9, or so I believed. It was a balmy March dawn when Jake woke me with breakfast on a tray, fresh huevos rancheros, orange juice, and coffee black as midnight. He perched on our bed, eyes twinkling like stars over the Grand Canyon. "Got news," he said, beaming. "The Dawson deal sealed. We're landing that office remodel." I nearly spilled my juice.
"We, Jake."
"That's my lead. I've been drafting for ages." He chuckled, pecking my forehead. "Meant you, darlin'. I just greased the wheels with intros. Team effort, right?" That word, team, was Jake's mantra. When he volunteered to manage my emails so I could focus on creativity. When he pushed to add his name to my business checking for easy access. When he insisted on shared drives for backups. I was over the moon having a hubby who championed my hustle. My folks back in rural New Mexico had always said design was a pipe dream, not a paycheck. But Jake egged me on, urging bigger bids, bolder visions. "Speaking of teams," he added, checking his phone. "Mom wants us over for supper. Got thoughts on that new property we're eyeing?" My gut twisted. Evelyn Harlan had never warmed to me, wearing her disdain like a badge. At our engagement bash, she'd whispered about finding someone more aligned with the family ranching legacy. At holidays, she'd call me Jake's artsy wife who tinkers with buildings. But Jake always had my back, or so I thought. "Don't mind Mom," he said, catching my frown. "She's old school protective. Once she sees your firm booming, she'll thaw." That night, we dined at the Harlan Spread, a sprawling adobe hacienda with Navajo rugs and heirloom saddles. Evelyn dished up her killer green chili stew while nitpicking our house hunt. "Jake.
Hun.
That subdivision? It's so cookie-cutter. What'll folks say? Mom. Emily digs it. Near her workspace. Top schools for future kids." Evelyn's spoon clattered. "Kids? You're still climbing the ladder. And Emily's hobby shop ain't steady enough for a brood." "It's no hobby, Mrs. Harlan," I interjected softly. "I've got 10 steady clients. Just snagged Dawson." She dismissed it with a wave. "Deals dry up like a creek in July."
"Dear."
"Real estate's solid. Legacy stuff. Like Jake's building." Jake didn't correct her. He just patted my knee under the table and pivoted topics. Post-dinner, I stepped out for air and overheard them in the kitchen. "She's nice,
Jake.
but long haul? Lisa Reynolds been asking about you again." "Mom, I'm wedded." "Weddings ain't forever.
Son.
Legacy is." "Just ponder it." The ride home was silent. Jake brooding. "Your mom's got no love for me," I said. "She's traditional. But I picked you."
Eminencia.
"That's what counts." I bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. In the months after, Jake dove deeper into my biz. Joined client huddles, claiming his flip know-how added value. Handled contracts and billing to free my muse. "You're the visionary," he'd say. "Let me wrangle the nuts and bolts." I was touched. Pals envied it. "Lucky you," my buddy Sarah'd say. Most guys forget your job title. Jake knew it all, deadlines, logins, the lot. So attentive, so invested. I never questioned the access, the constant queries, how he'd nudge talks toward his listings. Blind as a bat in broad daylight, thinking we were forging a dynasty. Little did I know, he was casing my operation to gut it clean. The day after that bombshell memo, Evelyn's fingerprints were all over my mind. So, I did the unthinkable, snooped Jake's phone while he showered. What I unearthed turned my stomach inside out. Hundreds of texts with Evelyn, stretching back nearly 2 years. A roadmap of betrayal I never spotted. The oldest, Evelyn, worried about you.
Jake.
Emily's anchoring you down. You could run the family holdings by now. Jake. Mom. She's my wife. Can't just cut and run. Evelyn. Not saying ditch her cold. Think future. Expanding into high-end flips? Her background will stick out like a sore thumb with ritzy buyers. Jake. Maybe. But what now? Evelyn. Keep options open.
Son.
Don't get too tangled. I scrolled. Fury building. Evelyn chipped away at him, sending links on power couples and real estate, gossip on kin who'd married down and rooted. But the gut punch was her dossier on me, like I was some suspect. Evelyn. Emily in that off-the-rack dress at the rodeo gala? Folks notice. Jake. Evelyn. Heard her folks still crammed in that trailer park. Waddle clients think meeting your in-laws. Evelyn. She botched hors d'oeuvres at supper. Lisa'd never slip like that. Every nitpick, every flaw from my modest upbringing, weaponized. Then, 6 months back, around when Jake burrowed into my firm, Evelyn, if you're gonna split eventually, pad your wallet. Get something out of this union. Jake. How? Evelyn. Her design gig's picking up steam. Learn the ropes. Snag clients post-split. Call it severance for wasted time. Jake. Feels shady. Mom. Evelyn. Shady's sticking in a mismatch. If she loved you, she'd want your win, even if it means goodbye. I paused.
Bilirsin.
The cunning was surgical. Evelyn had molded Jake into seeing me as the villain, the drag on his ascent. Worse, Evelyn introduced Jake to Lisa at the country club mixer. They chatted hours. She's ideal, polished, loaded, pedigreed. Everything Emily ain't. Jake. Mom. Married here. Evelyn. For now. But unions are paper.
Son.
Find a real booster. Not a ball and chain. Text showed Evelyn engineering chance run-ins, coffee biz meets, BBQs with Lisa nearby.
Art walks for alone time.
Jake's tone shifted. Jake. Lisa gets the flip game. Sharp insights. Jake. You're right.
Mom.
Emily don't mesh with our crowd. Jake. Maybe I rushed. Young. Thought love trumped all. Then to the affair bombshells, Evelyn. Lisa's heading to the coast weekend. Invited you. Go. Jake. Emily. Evelyn. Say biz trip it is. For your tomorrow. Jake. Guilty twinge. Evelyn. Guilt's change phobia. You earn joy. Not this facade. Final threads. 2 weeks prior. Plotting my ruin, Evelyn. With Sunset Valley yours. You'll have cred to reboot. Lisa's dad eyeing investments in your fresh venture. Jake. Her other gigs?
Evelyn. Climbing.
She shared everything. Ain't theft if you co-built. Jake. Divorce? Evelyn. Swift.
Clean.
Sight irreconcilables. With your boom and Lisa's clan, Emily can't contest. I slumped on the tile, reading how my mother-in-law orchestrated my marital implosion. But here's the kicker. Evelyn documented it all. Every twist, every nudge, ammo on a silver platter. She fancied herself slick, but she'd just scripted my comeback. Next day, I turned PI on my own turf. Discoveries proved Jake and Evelyn weren't just scheming, they'd been sabotaging me for months. Started with my biz email, which Jake helped manage. Unread threads from top clients, Dawson Corp, Riverside Builds, Canyon Homes, flagging my no-shows and delays. But I'd never missed a beat. My planner was ironclad. Then, replies from me. Sorry for personal hiccups. Consider my partner Jake Harlan. Real estate whiz. Jake had tanked my rep, rerouting to himself. Dug deeper. Forwarded client chats to his email. My blueprints, pricing tactics, even client quirks. He'd poached my intel to court them. Worst, sent folder horrors, my emails peddling designs to rivals. Jake framed me as a sellout while snatching clients. I dialed Dawson cold. Emily Harlan. Torres Designs. Timeline check-in. Awkward beat. Emily. Assumed you knew. Switched to your hubby's outfit. He said you were stepping back. Heart sinking. I pressed. What about the leaks? Her designs hit competitors.
Yeah.
Lisa Reynolds' firm snagged identical ones we commissioned exclusive. Had to scrap and restart.
Lisa.
Of course. Must be error. I stammered. No error. Emails from you auctioning him. Filed BBB complaint. I scoured my drives, gone. But on Jake's laptop? Tweaked versions under Lisa's banner. He'd not just stolen. He'd set me up as the crook. Funneling to his mistress. I tailed to Lisa's sleek Phoenix high-rise. All glass and steel screaming success. Waited in a diner across. Spotting her. Poised. In a power suit worth my quarterly earnings. Striding like she owned the sands. Jake's truck in the garage, midday Wednesday. When he claimed open houses. Followed to a swanky steakhouse. Corner booth. Hands laced, giggling like teens. Lisa sported a flashy tennis bracelet. Jake gazed at her like old times with me. From a nearby table. Snippets. Sunset Valley's rapping. Once Emily inks finals next week. I'll pivot it to us. She suspects Zilch? Lisa cooed. Tracing his palm.
Nada.
Trusts like a pup. Pathetic. Almost. Prior designs? Shifted to yours. By exposure time. We'll be hitched. Sipping margaritas in Baja. Can't wait to be Mrs.
Harlan.
But rebrand. Emily's name's too folksy. They plotted my wipeout to fund their escape. But their cockiness? Blind spot. They'd never dreamed I'd lasso back. That eve. In my studio amid our shared relics. I skipped tears for strategy. New folder, Operation Horizon. Cataloged proof, memo backups, affair snaps, bogus emails, shady wires. Needed backup. Only one, Tom Rivera. My silent partner for 2 years. Jake never grasped our depth. Tom seeded my startup for 30% equity. A top contractor in luxury remodels. He'd always back my flair.
Plus.
He'd pegged Jake early. Something off about him, Tom once said. Grins too wide. Probes your biz too deep. I'd brushed it now.
Truth.
Called Tom at 10 p.m. He was a night hawk. Emily, you okay? Need you here. Biz crisis. On my way. 20 minutes. Kitchen table. Memo playing. Tom's face stormed from shock to fury. That snake, he growled.
So the Eminência.
Should have pushed my gut. You tried. I was love blind. Tom leaned in. eyes fierce. Plan? If scorched earth, count me in. For hours, we blueprint my breakout. Jake's tumble. First, lock assets. Tom confessed safeguards. He'd mirror designs to his servers. IP clauses in contracts. Been wary of Jake. Built firewalls quiet-like. Why hide? You loved him.
Didn't want jealousy vibes.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Loved you since day one. But you were happy. So I stayed pro. My heart flipped. But focus. Survival. We outlined. Transfer to new joint firm. Legal via partnership. Amass more dirt.
Shield client.
Lawyer up for fraud/IP theft. Finale, blow it wide. To boards. Lisa's hubby. Press if needed. Extra, Tom added. Lisa's husband. Mark Reynolds. My client did their lake house reno. Clueless on the fling. What's he like? Mogul. Doting on her. Thinks she's saintly. Devastating. But truths do. And he's Jake's top backer. As Tom left at dawn. Hand squeeze. Whatever us wise. I'm your rock. You didn't earn this. Showered. Prepped for normalcy. Jake descended. Pecked cheek. Query day. Sunset tweaks. Ready for your eyes, next week, I said. Honey sweet. Great. Oblivious to my barb. As he split 4 showings, Lisa. No doubt. I kicked off Horizon. By dusk. Half assets shifted. Lawyer meets booked. Jake plotted 3 years. I'd raise his world in 3 weeks. 2 weeks on. Pieces aligned like stars over the Sonoran. Jake clueless while I orchestrated his undoing from the shadows. Kicked off Monday morn. Jake bolted early for meetings. Code for Lisa's scheming over Sunset Valley. But I preempted. Met execs 3 days prior. Mrs. Harlan, the VP said. Puzzled. Your husband's claiming lead on this. Emails from him. Showed originals. Time-stamped sketches. Fraud trail. Their legal eagles salivated. Terminating his ties pronto. Recommending charges. While he romanced, I hit the Arizona Real Estate Commission with a dossier. Forged emails. Poached lists. Dr. Docs. Fraud City. Investigator whistled. License suspended pending probe. Tuesday, Mark Reynolds. Tom set a remodel consult. Mark expected tile talks. Found me with affair pics. Fraud logs. Future plot texts. How long, he asked. Voice steal. 8 months proven. Likely more. He eyed snaps of Jake Lisa canoodling. Scheming with my loot. Shook subtly.
But resolved.
What you need? Nothing. Just truth for you. And Jake's ventures? I bankrolled 6. Tom. Fraud foundations. Used your cash for the affair. Mark Rose. Thanks. Jake's done in this state. Wednesday media. Tip to Phoenix Biz reporter on fraud beats. Husband steals wife's designs. Dumps for investor's wife. Gold mines scam. Cheating. Kin drama. Publish when. Friday. Stall till then. Thursday, Evelyn. Unearthed Jake siphoned my funds to her flailing dude ranch. House savings funneled to her debts. Strode into her spread at peak lunch. Slapped folder down. What's this? Her poise cracked. Transfers proving Jake stole from me to float you.
Plus conspiracy suit.
She blanched.
Scanning.
Can't stick.
Can.
Jake's records. Your texts, all admissible. Left her reeling. By morn. Assets frozen. Ranch shuttered. Friday dawn. Jake awoke to chaos. License yanked. Mark yanking funds. Journal expose blasting his scam. Divorce packet on counter. I skipped the show, already in new digs with Tom, inking deals from 3 loyal clients, ditching Jake post-truth. His calls blew up my phone, ignored. Battle won. Every front. In the thick of it, I wrestled doubts. Was I becoming as cold as them? But no, this was justice. Reclaiming what was mine. Still, I aimed for precision, not overkill.
Consulted my lawyer.
Ensuring every move was above board. No vigilante hacks. Just solid evidence trails. Arizona, law backed me, community property. But fraud voided his claims. IP theft, clear cut. With timestamps and backups. Clients rallied once looped in. Dawson's Head. We smelled fishy with Jake's push. Stick with you. Emily. Even reached Evelyn's ranch hands anonymously. Tipping job leads, folks caught in crossfire didn't deserve the fallout. Tom was my anchor. Brainstorming late nights over tacos. You're fierce.
Eminencia.
But don't lose your spark in the fight. His words grounded me. This wasn't just payback, it was rebirth. As dust settled, reflections hit. That memo? Lifesaver. Unveiling wrought before total ruin. Jake's greed. Evelyn's snobbery. Mirrors of insecurities I'd ignored. My roots? Strength. Not shame. Small-town grit built my empire. Not silver spoons. But the humane twist. Amid wreckage. Seeds of redemption. More on that soon. 6 months post. I gazed from the corner office of Harlan Rivera Designs in downtown Tucson. Floor-to-ceiling views framed the Sunset Valley Resort taking shape against rugged peaks, my blueprints. My triumph. Jake? Crushed. As plotted for me. License revoked after probe unearthed deeper scams. Exposé went viral. Blackballing him nationwide. Mark sued for fraud. Bankrupting him. Lisa bolted post-divorce. Their fling fizzling sans funds. Last word, she retreated to family. Jake slung used cars in Yuma. Evelyn's ranch? Auctioned off. My suit settled. Stripping savings. She disowned Jake. Faulting him for tarnishing the Harlan name. Moved to a modest condo. Radio silent. My win?
Sweeter.
Firm boomed. Sunset nabbed awards. Spawning statewide gigs. Staffed up to 15. Eyeing Vegas expansion. And love bloomed real with Tom. Patient. He never rushed. From allies to confidants to partners in every sense. He cheered my wins. Shared credit. Built us up. MS. Harlan. Assistant buzzed. Visitor. Personal. Jake in the doorway, haggard. Rumpled suit hanging loose. Eyes hollow. Emily. 5 minutes. Assistant eyed me. I nodded her out. He scanned the space. Impressive. You built this. Tom and I. With integrity and sweat. Heard you're engaged.
Congrats.
Fingered my band, simple turquoise. Western flair. Thanks. Silence. Then, here to apologize. Beg forgiveness. For affair. Theft. Lies. Ruin plot.
He winced.
All. Stupid.
Greedy.
Let Mom warp me. Mom didn't force your choices.
Jake.
You owned them.
True.
Miss you.
Us.
Leaned back. Assessing the shell of my ex. Know us. Me loving true. You faking while scheming. That's fraud. Not forever. Did love you. Still.
No.
Loved my utility, trust. Talent. Network. Not me. Shoulders slumped. How to fix. Some betrayals scar deep. But humanity nudged. I'd evolved beyond pure vengeance. Can't undo. But learn, trust's fragile. Rebuild elsewhere. Therapy. Maybe. Own your mess.
Grow.
He nodded. Broken. Glad you're thriving.
Deserved.
Post-exit. I pondered. Memo shattered. But freed me. Lesson light. Betrayal reveals truth. From ashes. Stronger selves rise. Real bonds lift. Don't loot. Jake's fall? Cautionary. Not cruel. I'd offered olive branch. Redemption's door cracked. Tom texted. Dinner? Vegas bid news. Smiled. Yes. Love you. Found not just success, but wisdom in the West's vast skies. In the aftermath, I didn't just rebuild, I reflected. The western sunsets, painting the desert in fiery hues, became my therapy sessions. I'd drive out to the edges of Tucson, park amid the mesquite, and let the quiet teach me. Betrayal had scorched me, but like a wildfire clearing underbrush, it made room for new growth. I volunteered at a local women's shelter, sharing my story anonymously to empower others spotting red flags in relationships. It wasn't about glory, it was paying forward the grit that saved me. Legally, everything tied up neat as a bow. Arizona's courts favored facts, and mine were ironclad. The divorce judge commended my restraint, no mudslinging. Just evidence. Jake got nada from my assets. Fraud nullified his stake. The commission's probe led to misdemeanor charges for him. Fines. Probation. Community service flipping burgers at a soup kitchen instead of houses. Humane? Yeah. No prison. Just a wake-up call. Evelyn faced civil penalties. But I settled low. Enough to recoup losses. Not ruin her golden years. Whispered she started therapy too, grappling with her meddling's cost. Small mercies.
Client?
Loyal ones doubled down. New ones flocked, drawn by my resilience tale in Bizmags. From betrayed to boss, one headline read. I laughed it off, but it rang true. Tom and I, we took it slow, building on trust. Our first real date, hiking Sabino Canyon.
Talking dream sans secret.
He proposed under a full moon, ring etched with a saguaro, symbol of endurance. But the true pivot came unexpected. Months post-divorce, a letter arrived. Jake scrawl. Emily. Words fail for the pain I caused. Therapy's opening my eyes, mom's influence. My insecurities. Greed's grip. Working on me. If ever forgive. No, I'm sorry. Wishing you the best.
No, please.
Just accountability. Stirred something. Not reconciliation, boundaries firm, but recognition of humanity. We all falter. Growth's the redemption. Replied brief. Appreciate the ownership.
Heal well.
Lesson learned. Choose kindness over conquest. Light lesson embedded. In revenge's heat, mercy tempers justice. Fostering healing for all. Firm life hummed. A Monday meeting with Sunset execs. Emily. Expansions? Your vision's gold. Team effort, I said, nodding to staff. Tom's input sealed a Phoenix satellite. Home now, a modest adobe on acreage, with studio overlooking valleys. No ostentatious spread, grounded, like me. Evelyn called once. Voice frail. Emily.
I.
Overstepped. Ruined my boy.
Hurt you.
Forgiven. Not forgotten. Move forward. Hung up lighter. Vengeance sated, but compassion endured. As seasons shifted, desert blooms reminded, from thorns, beauty. My story, not just survival, but evolution. One eve, Tom and I watched stars. Proud of you, he said. Handled with grace. Learned the hard way. Strengths in rising, not raising. And that was my Western truth. The firm hit milestones. Award galas. Where I'd once felt outclassed, now felt home. Networking with moguls, but staying authentic, boots over heels. A new project, eco-resort in the Superstitions. Innovative. Sustainable. My passion ignited. Personal growth. Joined a book club on psychology. Dissecting betrayal's roots. Helped process. Prevent recurrence. Jake sightings rare, once at a gas stop. Nodded polite. No words. He looked steadier. Working honest. Lisa. Relocated east. Starting over. Mark thrived solo. Thanking me privately for the heads up. Evelyn volunteered at a senior center. Finding purpose. My circle expanded. Sarah hosted barbecues. Toasting my badassery. Wedding plans with Tom. Intimate. Under desert skies. Vows emphasizing trust.
Equality.
Lesson crystallized. Drama's dust settles. Humanity shines through forgiveness's lens. In quiet moments, I'd sketch not just buildings, but futures. The voice memo? Catalyst for authenticity. Western winds whispered, "You've arrived." As the firm flourished, so did my sense of peace. The Western landscape, with its vast openness, mirrored the space I'd carved in my heart, room for growth without grudges. I mentored young designers at the local community college, sharing tales of perseverance minus the gory details. Trust your gut, I'd say, and build alliances that uplift. It was my way of turning personal pain into communal gain, a light lesson in resilience. One crisp autumn day, an unexpected visitor, Evelyn, at my office door,
Hat in hand.
looking every bit the weathered rancher life's humbled. "Emily, may I?" Her voice trembled. I gestured to a seat, curious but guarded. "What brings you?" She fidgeted. "To say sorry."
Brupe.
"I poisoned Jake against you. Out of foolish pride. Thought I knew best for the family line. Cost me everything, my boy. My home. My dignity." I listened, seeing not the manipulator, but a broken woman seeking amends. It hurt deep, Evelyn. But I've moved on. Have you?
Trying.
Therapy. Church group. Learning entitlements a lonely road. I nodded. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's freeing yourself. Take care. She left with a tentative smile, and I felt lighter, closure without compromise. Jake reached out again, months later, via email. "Emily, progressing. Got a steady job in construction. Honest work. Thanks for your words, they motivated change."
Replied, klar.
Keep growing. No more contact needed. Their paths diverged, but with seeds of betterment planted. Tom and I tied the knot in a sunset ceremony amid red rocks. Family and friends witnessing vows of mutual respect. Our honeymoon, road trip through national parks. Dreaming big without deceit. Back home, the firm landed a landmark deal, revamping historic Route 66 motels into modern eco-stays. Innovative. Community-focused, embodying my evolved ethos. Socially, I advocated for women's biz rights, speaking at conferences on fraud prevention. Knowledge is armor, I'd emphasize. Personal joys, adopting a rescue dog, hiking trails, sketching sunrises. Life's simple treasures amplified post-turmoil. The light lesson? Betrayal tests, but response defines. Choose humanity over hatred. It yields richer rewards. Years on, reflecting under starry skies.
I'm grateful.
The plot that aimed to break me built me stronger. In the American West's rugged embrace, I found not just revenge, but redemption for all involved. And that, truly, was the greatest triumph.